Plaintiff Brett Cloud dated the defendant on and off for several years, and they even lived together. Brett claims their relationship went downhill after the defendant got a promotion at work, and he's suing her today because she refuses to return his property, which she agreed to store for him. Defendant Beverly Truax says the problems in their relationship started because Brett was an excessive drinker. Beverly claims they broke up after Brett assaulted her and was arrested for domestic violence. And she denies that she agreed to store his property.
Prove your case.
Sir, in November of 2002, that's when I met Beverly. We decided to see each other. May of 2003, we decided to move in together. Things were actually really good between us for 5-6 years. And then she got a promotion and everything else. Things kind of started going downhill a little bit.
Why? What did that have to do with the promotion?
Well, she wasn't at
Your
home
Honor,
as much.
he was drinking way too much. He was drinking way too much. It had nothing to do with my promotion.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, she drank also. Well,
I do drink.
Anyway, before then, we split up and decided to still see each other. I got an apartment. She stayed in the house. A couple years later, we decided to move back in together. Then things started going bad. And approximately, it was March of 2008, I believe it was, she got transferred down to Colorado Springs. And we discussed it. My things were still at her house.
We never discussed that.
Yes.
Go ahead. Let him finish his version.
We discussed about me moving down to Colorado Springs, finding a job down there, getting an apartment. Her company was moving her down there, and she said, well, why don't we just go ahead and just have your stuff moved down there if we're going to go ahead and move
What
to the
did
Springs.
happen?
In February of this year, the long distance thing just wasn't working anymore.
Your Honor, we split up in 2008.
Let me let her give her version. Go ahead, ma'am.
In May of 2008, he physically assaulted me and was charged with domestic violence. That's when we originally split up. We started seeing each other again after he had finished his domestic violence classes and wasn't drinking as much. Yes, we did start seeing each other again, but I never discussed, his stuff was never discussed.
Okay. What have you done to get your things, sir?
I've asked her several times to give me my things back, and she pretty much, I have an email from her.
What would she tell you, sir?
Hire a lawyer and sue me.
Ma'am, let me hear from you about what happened to his items.
Okay, in May of 2008, after the domestic violence charges, we split up. In June, when he moved his stuff out, I told him it was $1,300 a month rent. I could not afford that by myself. And I told him I was getting a roommate. I needed his stuff out of there. And he said, I don't have room for it.
That's incorrect.
And I said, I don't have room for it. I got a roommate coming, which is my sister, Debbie. And he said, well, I don't care what you do with it. I don't care if you put it outside.
Okay, and what did you do with it?
I put some of it outside and some of it I kept.
You follow orders pretty well.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. And that was when that you threw some of it outside?
That was in June of 2008.
Some of it out. And when did you set the rest of it out or keep the rest?
I still have some of it.
All right. Why are you keeping it?
He should have got it in June of 2008.
Why didn't you set everything out? Why didn't you set that out as well?
Well, the plant stand that he's wanting back.
Whatever it is, why didn't you
He
set
put
them
outside
out?
with a trash sign on it.
That's incorrect.
The things
And
that
I
you
kept,
have
that's not
now,
in, she's a witness.
The things that
She
you
was never
currently
there.
have that belong to him, why didn't you set them out as you did the other things?
Because I had use for some of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, did you want to speak?
Yes, sir.
State your name.
My name's Deborah.
What do you want to tell me?
When I was getting ready to move in back into the house, I got there and there was the plant stand outside with a trash sign on it. I went inside. I'm like, why is all his stuff still here? She told me. He said, I don't have room for it. Do with it what you want.
Okay. Let me ask you, ma'am, how many times has he attempted to retrieve his items since 2008?
Every time he asked me, it's several occasions, he has said, I want my things. And I told him, you don't have any things here. And explained to him the situation.
When is the first time he asked?
February of 2010.
Why do you think he suddenly began asking?
Because I filed a restraining order against him.
When?
February 19th of this year. Because he was harassing me, he would send me texts.
Up through that time, you had the furniture and there was no problem.
Correct.
Is that true?
That's incorrect, sir.
What happened February?
I asked her, I live in a basement. I have plenty of room for everything that she has.
Why did it take 2 years for you to sue her?
I didn't want to
She
sue
says
her.
it's because of argument that resulted in a restraining order.
That's
did
exactly
that happen?
Yes, that did happen.
When did that happen?
But that
in
was,
February?
I asked for my things back. A couple days later, she filed the restraining order.
She
Ma'am,
filed the
why did you file
I
for
filed
a
the restraining order, sir, because he sent me a text message that said, "You screwed me. Now it's my time to get you and it," referring to my sister.
So did you send that?
Yes, I did.
What did you mean by
Referring to
that?
I was going to get a lawyer and sue her.
Why didn't you say that? Do you have anything where you threatened to get a lawyer?
Do I have anything?
Yes.
Just me.
Okay, because you put that in writing.
Yes, that was a
Yeah,
text.
but you didn't put the lawyer stuff in
No, I
writing.
did not.
That's just trying to convince me today. And was there a hearing for the restraining order?
Yes, there was.
And what did you say at the hearing?
I don't want to have anything to do with her.
You didn't address the threat?
No, I addressed my furniture, and she told.
Did the judge ask about the threat?
Yes.
And he concluded that he believed that a restraining order should be issued
Yes.
because of such.
Yes.
Sir, that's typically how it goes in court.
Right.
So I don't believe you.
Right.
Don't believe you. I believe, like she does, that you wanted to get back at her because she screwed you. You threatened her in February of 10, and now you come here trying to obtain a civil judgment, all of which is 2 years after you allege she has taken your things. I believe you are retaliating against her for whatever reason, and that's why you threatened her, and that's why you are suing her today. That other judge believed that you were threatening her so much so that he issued a restraining order against you, and your retaliation, instead of carrying out your threat, you decided you would sue her for something that she has had for 2 years, and you failed to sue her for over a 2-year period. Claim dismissed. Have a good day.
He's a very heavy drinker. He actually needs help for that. And he was going to throw me off my deck to physically hurt me. And I somehow got away. But then ran downstairs and he punched a hole through the bedroom door, and my sister called the police on him.
Well, domestic violence, I made a mistake. That's simple. I paid for it. I moved on.